Let me just say this would have been up a while ago, but due to a bug causing one of the achievements not to pop, this made me have to delay my video, unfortunately. Now that the game's been patched, it has since become finished, thus allowing yours truly to complete this video. And with that little disclaimer out of the way, let's get it started. So first things first, this hunt drove me insane. When I first started this, I thought this should be easy enough. 40 levels of beat 'em up goodness. How hard could it possibly be? And boy was I in for it. I'm going to try and separate myself from the rest of this crowd by doing this sort of thing, and instead of just showing you me completing the achievements, I figured I'd walk you through them on how to actually get them in case you decide you want to do the achievement yourself. There are a total of 40 achievements in Midnight Fight Express. 6 of them are unmissable, and the rest of them are able to be attained through repeat playthroughs of the game. The 6 that are unmissable are This Is Just the Beginning, Leave No Trace, They Probably Deserved It, Give Me a Break, One Last Ride, and Watch the Sunrise. As I went through the game on normal difficulty, I got 5 more achievements along the way, which now that I think about it, really wasn't that much in the larger picture, because most of the rest of them I had to grind for. The ones that I got during my first playthrough were Parry Master for parrying 150 attacks, Kiss the Wall for killing 50 enemies using gun finishers. Note that Kiss the Wall is actually not for 50 gun finisher kills, it's actually for 50 environmental kills. So make sure that you're going for environmental kills. This achievement will not pop otherwise. If you're going for gun finisher kills, you'll get this naturally as you go through the playthrough like I did, but just thought I'd let you guys know because it says gun finishers twice, one for Gun Fu and one for Kiss the Wall, and Kiss the Wall is for environmental finishers. Skills Enthusiast for defeating 15 enemies with different types of skills on a single level. Combo Master for getting 100 times combo on foot, and Make Them Shake for you for executing 100 enemies. The rest of the achievements are, like I said, a grind. Just going for repeat finishers, moves, or kills until they are all unlocked. There are a couple exceptions, but we're going to go through them all in order of completion date, and I'll give you the way I accomplished each achievement. How could you do that to Noise Scream? Mute the music. Literally just go into the settings and set the volume all the way to 0. I did this on stream so I don't have any footage to show you of it popping because the Xbox Twitch app doesn't show achievements for viewers. Too much pressure. Kill 6 enemies while in rage. I got this one going for the next achievement I'll be talking about, but this was done on the first level called Factory, and all you have to do is be quick enough on your feet to attack all 6 enemies. These guys are pretty weak, so it makes it easiest to do it on this level. I have a wedding tomorrow. Complete a level without getting hit. This level is short and simple and most of the enemies don't have a gun. There's one particular moment when you get into this warehouse area that you want to avoid throwing objects because they explode. That and the enemy that appears with a gun in this room. Prioritize the guy with a gun and memorize the layout and enemy placement and you should be able to land this no problem. Let them finish themselves. Let 100 enemies kill each other. The best level to earn this is going to be on the one Slums, since a lot of enemies are strapped with explosives and can kill most of them if they explode or throw a grenade next to another enemy. Just rinse and repeat and this should pop. Get over here. Damage 100 enemies using the rope. Some people forget that the rope exists, and I just really like using it, so as you do, you'll get this naturally. It's also imperative that you remember to use it on the harder difficulties because without it, you'll struggle. Who will clean up this mess? Kill 2,000 enemies. This one's pretty self-explanatory and you'll get this as long as you play through the game trying to go for every other achievement because you won't get it on normal difficulty but you'll get it on hard and realistic and repeat playthroughs. I want to look pretty. Spend $5,000 on clothes. The best way to earn this is just to complete the game and by the time you're done, you should have enough money just to buy all the cheap stuff in the clothing section. Tooth Fairy. Collect 150 golden teeth. The correct way to do this is to not land any finishers on the enemies and to just instead hit them with normal weapons. You can do this easily when using a perk that allows you to have unbreakable weapons. You unlock perks by completing the progress bar on each level. 40 levels equals 40 perks. In order to complete the progress bar, you're actually going to want to collect all the gold teeth in a level, collect the challenges complete, and the S rank levels. You're going to want to do all 3 of those different things to unlock the perks that you get later on. And those perks are going to come in handy for another achievement that we'll cover here in a little bit. Smile please. Blow up 50 enemy heads with the secondary gun. Weaken an enemy and then shoot them with the magnet bullet to get this achievement. Remember to use your focus ability to see who's low on health and then aim the bullet at the target. Let them fly. Kill 75 enemies using explosives. Weaken an enemy and then shoot them with the dart explosive, or just place slums repeatedly. Stay down. Kill 50 enemies using ground finishers. There's a button combo which lets you knock people on the ground, just look it up in the skills menu, and then stomp on them a couple times to get the prompt to appear, and that'll allow you to do the ground finisher. Face jewelry. Stick 50 sharp weapons into the heads of enemies. This one is just super satisfying. Just whenever you pick up a sharp weapon, throw it at an enemy. They don't have to die from it, it just needs to stick to their face. Weapons like knives and cleavers and machetes are all great options. Melee Finisher Master. Kill 250 enemies using melee finishers. This is unlocked when doing a normal finisher. Do not have any sort of weapon when doing a finisher, otherwise it will not count. The levels like Oil Rig are great options because they throw a ton of enemies at you and you can just breeze through it quickly. That's what I came for. Complete your first 25 challenges. We will come back to this on the second part of this achievement, but I'll just say that the first 25 challenges are pretty easy, although there were a couple that gave me difficulty. Way over the line, buddy. Kill 4,000 enemies. Don't worry, you'll get this much quicker than you think if you're completing this game. Bloody Shower. Slice 75 enemies. Best level to get this on is Docks. A lot of the enemies either use a sword or a gun, and the sword is what you want to use. Make sure your perk for unbreakable weapons is on too. Also, make sure you are not finishing them, just slicing them with the kill. They have to be cut in half for the achievement to pop. Weapon Finisher Master. Kill 150 enemies using weapon finishers. Same thing here, just use the perk and then you can rinse and repeat for this achievement. Gun Fu. Kill 50 enemies using gun finishers. Best level to get this on would be 18th floor, which has a ton of enemies with guns. Just use the perk that gives you unlimited ammo and fire until the prompt appears and then you should be good. Give your fist a rest. Shoot 500 enemies. The same level is good for this achievement, just don't use a finisher and instead shoot them. You have a style. Get an S rating on 20 levels. Same thing with this achievement as the challenge one. I will go into more detail in part 2. While I was going for S ranks on each level, I had a theory that if the game would still count if I went through it using the perks. Sure enough, it does count, and if you use the perks and still get an S rating, you will unlock this achievement. I am going to go more in depth on this when we get to this actual second part of this achievement, but know that this achievement really did suck. Dummy's best friend. Kill 500 enemies in the playground. Just turn off the shields and use guns and you should get this no problem. It will take some time, but you will get it eventually. People person. Talk with all the special characters. I used a guide to find all the characters, and you should too. Some of them are super obvious and some of them are not, so I would use like a YouTube video or a website and try to find all the people. There's 32 of them, I believe, so you should be able to find them no problem as long as you use a guide. I was born to die. Die 500 times. You will get this achievement by the time you're done with hard and realistic difficulty. Trust me, you will die a lot. Alright, so these next few achievements are actually grinds. First one being, don't hug me. Escape from grapples 50 times. Factory is the best level for this. When you enter this room here and take out all the enemies, a big guy will spawn and try to grab you. Break his grapple, and then walk up to him before immediately dodge rolling away. And then he should try to grapple you. Just rinse and repeat it. Everything is a weapon. There are 150 environmental items at enemies. Now there's a few caveats with this. You have to kill them with the environmental item, not just throw them at them. Factory again is the best level to do this on because there's plenty of random junk lying around, so you don't have to worry about having to land a single punch on an enemy. There's literally just like tons of garbage strewn around, just kick them and throw them all around and you'll be fine. You do not have to throw the items, you can kick the items and it will still count towards the achievement. Impressive. Complete all levels on hard difficulty. This was much easier than getting all the S ranks on normal difficulty. Hotline Express. Complete all levels on realistic difficulty. In hindsight, I thought this was going to be a lot more challenging than it actually ended up being. The moves are telegraphed well enough to know when to block and when to attack. There aren't any really tough levels to go through, and some of the reason why is because I was able to memorize most of them from the previous level grinding sessions. The biggest difference between realistic difficulty and the rest of the difficulties is that realistic difficulty does not let you recharge your health bar. It also means the enemies do more damage, and you also don't have prompts up here when to attack, when to counter, when to dodge roll, or when to use a finisher. You won't be forgotten, my friend. This achievement right here drove me to the brink of insanity. On paper, this seems very easy than it actually is. Go through each level and get through it with an S rating, but we all know that games that implement this mechanic into their design make it mad difficult to actually attain. For the most part, you can get through this with no problem, especially when you use a perk to complete the level. Yes, this impacts your overall score negatively, but if you play well enough, you will have more than enough to score to land an S rating. I chose to use two different perks depending on the level, either unlimited ammo or unbreakable weapons. Everything was smooth sailing until I got to my first roadblock. Train Tunnel is probably the hardest level to get an S rating on. I attempted this close to 40 times before I landed the S rank. It's simple in concept. Dodge the train while maintaining your combo in order to stack up a massive bonus of points at the end. Unfortunately for me, the train also kills your enemies, which means you have to kill them before the train does. It's a constant race back and forth between both tracks, trying to kill the enemies while also keeping your combo up and not taking damage or getting hit by the train. This was really just trial and error until it happened, and all I can say is dodge and keep dodging until you make way and use the rope to pull enemies towards you to keep the combo going. Train station is another one that mentally destroyed me. Two reasons why: this ugly thing and this ugly thing. Worst part is, this enemy spawns in the beginning of the level, and this enemy spawns at the end of the level. I spent so much time restarting this level just trying to get some kind of flow going to where I could fly through it. A couple of tricks that I picked up were to use the knockback bullet in the secondary gun to knock over enemies carrying Molotovs, and the hypnotize bullet to hit one of these twins and have them take out the other one. As a side note, the best way to get this S rank on any level is to maintain your combo. It's not going to be having a better time, it's not going to be having no deaths, it's not going to be kill diversity, although all those things do help. You want to have a best combo of 65 at least to make sure you get an S rank. And even then, sometimes it doesn't work on some of the levels. Some of them you want to have higher than 65 without breaking it. You can break it towards the end, but I would try to maintain it as long as possible to get the S rank. Fight Club is probably the most notorious one from all the people I've seen on forums complaining about this achievement. It's easier now since the patch that dropped reduced the size of explosions that come from this tub of lard crashing his motorcycle into me every 15 seconds. It's still an annoying level, but much less of an annoying level now. And that brings me to the final level that was a pain to get an S rank on. Laboratory. No matter what I did, I could not get my S rating. I tried all perks, I tried no perks, I tried the rope, I tried the combo build rolling around the room like a monkey flinging feces. Nothing, and I mean nothing, worked, until I stumbled upon an exploit. You see, the reason why this level is so hard is because the enemies are robots that copy these skills of other enemies from earlier in the game. The only way to damage these robots is by using electric weapons like stun batons and electric bullet, meaning if you use your fist, or in this case your foot, to, I don't know, curb stomp the enemy while building up your combo, you could rack up a 400 plus meter and then proceed to continue through the mission for an easy S rank. Although you still have to make it through the remainder of the level without losing the streak, otherwise the game drops your points by a lot. So yes, I used an exploit, but I wouldn't call it a glitch simply because it was built into the mechanics and you cannot do this with any other enemy in the game. Only the one where you cannot damage them without an electric weapon. Overall, this achievement sucks and is without a doubt the hardest one to obtain, so thank God it's over. King of Challenges. We've arrived at our final achievement, King of Challenges, which is actually a fitting name for getting all the achievements within this great indie title. These challenges are actually fun in some instances because they make you play the game in a different way than how you normally would. Challenges like beating all the game developers with pillows or not taking damage from pepper spray are great tasks that actually have some difficulty mixed in. As far as ones that bothered me, there was this one where you have to kill zombies with a melee weapon, this one where you have to slowly throw enemies off the tower using a knockback magnum, truly annoying stuff. Then there's this challenge. Get 130 times combo while using the minigun. This one sucked, by far the hardest challenge for me to get. It took me over an hour and a half to get this thing done. The closest that I got was on my very first attempt and it was 123 times. The reason why this challenge was so brutal was because I would aim at my target with the mini and it would just straight up not register the bullets hitting. Best way that I found to complete this is to aim for the front of whatever vehicle you're trying to hit. Prioritize the motorcycles first as they can single-handedly ruin your combo with one of their explosives. Then focus on the cars. Eventually I managed to get this challenge done and subsequently the achievement, which took me 6.5 hours to get. And that does it for this achievement hunt. 44 hours and 28 minutes of grinding. If I had to rate this hunt, I would give it a 7 out of 10. I honestly suggest doing the difficulty related achievements first. This will give you a good sense of enemy placement and level layout before you move on to the S ranks and challenge achievements. Finally move on to the random miscellaneous ones that you can grind out in an hour or two. What achievement hunt should I attempt next, and are you thinking about collecting each one in Midnight Fight Express? Let me know down in the comments, and if you're new here, consider subscribing because I got a lot more coming down the pipe. Much love to y'all.